Welcome back to All Inspired. Today we're going to be doing a full 2 hour cleaning marathon. I'm going to be taking you along several seasons, different settings. You'll be able to see different projects in my house that I've done and how it looks now and how it looked before. And also a little bit later on in the video, you will be able to see my old house where I originally started YouTube. So go ahead and throw this on and we can get cleaning together. This is a full, very long marathon. Let me know what you are cleaning today. What task are you tackling along with me? Comment and let me know. It's all nice and decorated. I'm going to just go around and work slowly, work at a just slow pace. I have no rush. It's just a nice, relaxing evening, and all I need to do is get this main level clean so I don't have to rush around and do everything. But I just want to tackle some of those tasks that I've kind of been putting off, and I know I have the time to get it done. This closet is definitely one of those things. We have been in and out of here all summer long, and our beach bag has gotten tossed over, and there's 1,000 pair of shoes in here. So we're gonna go ahead and get that taken care of. I don't think we need that many shoes. I'm gonna put one per each person, and then go ahead and set these on the stairs so that the kids can grab them and take them upstairs with them whenever they get home. Coconut is so funny. She always wants to be exactly where I am until I get the vacuum out. And then she's like, forget about it. I'm out of here. She doesn't really mind our robot vacuum mop. She's not one of the cats that's going to sit on top of it or anything like that. But it doesn't really bother her. But this big one that makes a lot of ruckus, she's like, I'm out of here. She went ahead and moved over to the stairs. She's like, I'll watch from afar. I'm not going to be anywhere near that thing. I went ahead and got all that cleaned up, and I was going to put the shoes on the stairs for the kiddos. However, when I set them down, I realized there was quite a bit of cat hair on our stairs. So, since I already have the vacuum out, I'm just going to go ahead and get that vacuumed as well. I really enjoy using this shark on the stairs. It is a little bit heavier. It kind of gives me an arm workout when I'm using it, but it has such good power suction. I do have the Tenneco cordless vacuum, and it does its job. However, I feel like that this one really grips into the carpet and fluffs it up and just really gets into it and gets all the cat hair and stuff like that out of it. So I seriously I would much rather get the arm workout than to use the handheld or the cordless vacuum if it's too difficult for you, because these vacuums are about 25, 30 pounds, I would guess. Then I would just go ahead and use your handheld vacuum. But they also have little carpet. I'm not exactly sure what you call it. It's almost like a carpet brush that you can just brush each stair, and it'll really pull all of that hair out of the carpet. It's rather satisfying. I'm going to be doing that soon in one of my deep cleaning videos coming up. The kiddos, our youngest, she actually finds it so satisfying. She enjoys using the carpet brush to pull up the hair because it pulls up so much hair you wouldn't even believe how much is in there. But that's also another good solution. They even have them where you can attach them to a longer rod, like your broom handle. you can just go ahead and attach it to there and then use it like that so it doesn't break your back, because bending over with the short handled ones really will hurt your back over time. But I just went ahead and got all of this vacuumed up. It feels so good. We have two cats, and having this time of year in spring seems to be the worst with the pet fur. It's just everywhere. It's like they are starting to shed their coat a bit to grow in a thicker coat, I guess, but it has just been everywhere, especially our long haired cat. She is just shedding like crazy. So I want to go ahead and get everything completely vacuumed up. I like to do this at least twice a week just to keep it nice and clean. Comment down below and let me know what you think of the bats. I think that they turned out really, really cute. And ever since I put those bats on that wall, I really started to be thinking about doing something special with that wall. What I thought about is a shiplap wall all the way up. However, I do realize that because there's stairs, that might be a little bit tedious when it comes down to the cuts. We're not going to be able to just cut, up until the point where the first stair cuts, all the boards will be the same length. However, once you start hitting each step, you got to kind of trim it down a bit. But I don't think it would be that difficult. I'm almost certain my husband could do it, but that's what I've been thinking about, is a shiplap wall right there. I also thought about maybe doing like a molding feature with a little lip on it so that you could put photos, but I just feel like this might not be the area for this. I was thinking about maybe doing that in the dining room, but I do really like the idea of a shiplap wall. Let me know if you guys have any other ideas. This is in our front entryway, so you see this right when you come in, and I really just want to do something unique here and have like a statement piece. I love the idea of there being a bench here and maybe hanging some hooks on the wall so that when our guests come in, they can just hang up their jackets on there. I don't know. I was just brainstorming, so y'all let me know what are some of your thoughts on what I could do with that front entry wall. I'm going to head on into the kitchen. There's lots of ideas what I want to do in here. I've shared with you guys before. New countertops, paint the cabinets, just spruce it up a bit. It's not particularly my taste. I do love that they're stone and that they're granite countertops. However, they're just not my taste. So those are some things that I've thought about doing in here, but I'm going to go ahead and get this dishwasher loaded up and then just go around and get all of the countertops all nice and clean and fresh. are some of your upcoming plans for holidays? We actually have a friend that will be doing a Halloween party that we'll be able to attend. We're a blended family, so we don't have the girls every single year for Halloween, so we won't be having them this year. And we'll be attending a Halloween party with a friend. I think we're gonna do like a fun Halloween sleepover here for the kiddos. It's just what you have to do. You have to make it work when you have a blended family. So we're going to have some fun things for them. We will be hosting Thanksgiving. However, we won't have our children when we're hosting, which is perfectly fine. But then my sister-in-law will be doing Christmas, and we do that on Christmas Eve every single year. And we will have the kiddos for Christmas this year, so it'll be really, really exciting. We always celebrate Christmas with the family at another time when we don't have the kiddos. My in-laws will come over, and we'll usually do something fun and hang out with them, play board games, whatever, and celebrate with the kiddos at a different time. But it's just how you have to do it whenever you have a blended family. I'm actually quite used to doing that because growing up, my niece and my nephew weren't always able to come on that day. It's just the same thing. It was just other family obligations. And rather than spending a lot of time in the car and traveling and getting the child back and forth to two different places at one time, we just opted to do it on another day. And so my sister used to come to my mom's house the weekend before Christmas, and we would celebrate it then, or it would be the weekend after New Year's time. Any time that we could fit it in, we would just go ahead and do it then. And so I'm very used to that. We still treated it as Christmas. We still said Merry Christmas to everyone. Like, to us, it wasn't important what day we celebrated it. It was just important that we celebrated it together. So it's something that I was rather used to. So when I met my husband and we joined our blended families, it was just something that every other year we don't celebrate it on that specific day, which is no big deal. We still have a great time, and we get to enjoy our family members, which is really what that's all about. Do you guys have specific things to you that you do? Will you be hosting? We were actually supposed to host Christmas last year, but we ended up asking my sister-in-law to do it because of my husband's accident last fall. He actually was in an accident with a piece of steak, and he almost died. It it like ruptured through not his throat but down and where your esophagus there's a little sphincter muscle. We believe he's allergic to some type of seasoning because it seems to happen when he eats different types of meats. This happens, and it'll that sphincter muscle will swell up, and it swelled up so much he tried to take a drink to get it to go down because he could feel it stuck in his esophagus, and it ruptured and came through, and he had to be airlifted. It was a whole big thing. I have a few videos that I went into a little bit more depth. If I can find them, I'll link them below. But yeah, it was really terrifying. He was in the hospital for quite a while, and so we just went ahead and let her host it because we just had a lot going on here. So I just went ahead. I got the kitchen cleaned up. I'm so happy that that's done. I always love when the kitchen is clean. Y'all let me know, like this comment, because I know I'm not the only one in this planet that feels such a relief when the kitchen is clean. Now that I got that done, I'm going to move along into my dining room. We are doing crafts in here. I'm going to leave some of this just here because we just we're just gonna leave it here. I actually want to set up a little table upstairs in my office area slash craft room, and make it to where we could do projects up there. We could just leave them up there, and it won't occupy our space in our dining room. Now that I got the dining room cleaned up, and if you look back at that clip, you'll see that it wasn't cleaned up, and I accidentally forgot to flip these two. I did it backwards. Oops, things happen, but it looks like it was cleaned, and then it wasn't cleaned, but really it was clean. And I moved right along into my front room area, and I'm just going to go ahead and get this nice and vacuumed up and clean. The kids often like to come in here, have snacks, and hang out, and so it typically gets pretty dirty. I've had my Halloween candle going all day, and it smells great. My next video will be our front porch Halloween decorate. Subscribe and hit that like button, and we will see you in the next one. Hi everyone, welcome to All Inspired. Today we are going to be doing a deep clean of my home. A few weeks ago I posted a routine cleaning and shared all my tips and tricks, and you guys requested that I go ahead and do a deep cleaning as well. And so as you can see, the beginning of this video is basically starting out the same as the other video. I'm going to
do the routine cleaning as well as add in all of those extra spaces. So before I just went ahead and high dusted the area, and that was the only deep cleaning task that I did during my routine cleaning. And then I would rotate all those tasks. But this time I'm going to get all of the items done. That is why it's considered a deep cleaning. So I'm going to do the windowsills, the baseboards, the light fixtures, the fronts and backs of the doors. I'm going to make sure that I clean all those detailed items as well as do the routine cleaning, and that's what makes it a deep cleaning for me. I've actually been a professional cleaner for many years. I took a little break during 2020, but I have done professional cleaning about 8, 9 years, something like that. For a very long time I've been doing it. And so this is, I also own a cleaning company as well. And what I would do for my clients, not only would I explain to them that this would be what a detailed cleaning would entail, we'd have all of the items, all the detailed items, as well as the routine cleaning combined. But I'd also let them know that I like to specify my cleaning to my clients' needs. So if there's something that they need done to make it feel like a deep clean, they can always add that in to their list as well. So, like refrigerators, ovens, sometimes changing the linens. Like everybody has a little bit different. I've even had a particular client, they wanted me to throw in their bath mats, like any of their little rugs or things that they had in their bathroom. They felt like having clean mats meant a deep clean. So I'd go ahead and throw them in the washer, toss them in the dryer, and then put them back out for them. And that just made it feel like a deep clean. So I personally like to customize my deep cleans for my clients. But when it comes to my home, I just go ahead and do all the detailed items combined with all my regular cleaning. So I'm going ahead and getting this front and door back, the fronts and doors of I'm getting the backs and the fronts of the doors all clean, including the exterior door. They do get very dirty and it has a big impact when you swing that door open and all that grime comes into your house. So I make sure I get that nice and clean. But I also will be doing a spring cleaning coming up, and that will have all of those extra items that you don't do on even a deep clean, like the upholstery and the carpets and the walls and the microwave. Or no, I always do the microwave on a regular clean, but the refrigerator and the oven and all those detailed items that may not be done regularly, that is what I would consider a quarterly clean. A lot of people like to call it a spring clean, and they'll go ahead and do it again in the fall. I feel like the best way is to do it every 3 months just to maintain the items. Now, not everything needs to be done every 3 months. I'm a total agreement that the windows can be done seasonal twice a year. The My sliding glass, or my glass door, and my sliders, they need to be done quite more often, so I keep those in a rotation with my deep clean. So when I do my deep clean, I make sure I go ahead and get the glass surfaces, just because it does have a lot of dirt and grime and you don't really think about it. But when you open and close your door, that can often come into your house. So it just keeps the house cleaner on the inside, making sure that you do those glass doors. But because I was doing a deep clean and my front porch has so much pollen, I went ahead and wiped off that area so that if it's like a nice day or raining or something, we can go and sit out there and enjoy ourselves. But I will be including outside cleaning as well in my spring deep cleaning. I need to get out the power washer and get the siding cleaned and the deck cleaned and all our outdoor furniture cleaned really, really well. But that'll be for another video. Let me know down below, which one would you want to see next? Would you rather see the spring cleaning on the inside or the spring cleaning on the outside? Comment down below and let me know which one you would prefer. I'm working on getting this living room nice and clean. Really, the trick to doing this is making sure that you work top to bottom and that you bring all of your items with you. Having a tote or a bag or something to keep all your items in the same place and have them right there with you makes a huge difference. Having to run around and track down all your stuff is not efficient. So just keep all that stuff right there so that you can get to work. I'm going to go ahead and wipe down the cabinets. I feel like this is just part of the deep cleaning. One of the items that I just always do is make sure to get the exterior of the cabinets. Now, if for some reason the client requested that I didn't do them or that I focus on something else, I will always customize the cleaning. But for me, I do feel like for a deep clean, if I'm doing the fronts and backs of the doors and the light switch covers and all that, I'm going to go ahead and get the cabinets because they can often hold dirt and grease and grime. And so I'm going to get all of these nice and cleaned and then just continue to work through the spaces top to bottom, getting everything really cleaned. I went ahead and put something in the microwave. I think I put a little lemon juice in there and some water. That really helps out a ton when you're trying to get all those grime and grease out of your appliances. I also you can use this in your refrigerator. Make sure when you're cleaning out your refrigerator that you are using non-toxic chemicals. Even Dawn dish soap is it has a certain level of toxicity to it. It's very you want to be very particular when you're using items around food areas. So I like to use vinegar. I also like to use lemon. It just smells so good. You can put it in your microwave and heat it up, and then it's going to create a nice smell. And then you can just go in there and wipe everything down. You can use that lemon water to wipe anything down in your kitchen. I know it kind of things you may think it would be sticky, but it's really not. It's just a little bit of lemon oil, and it's very similar to what people use in cleaner. But when you're just using the lemon, it's an all natural cleaner. So you can use that in your refrigerator and not have to worry about any toxins getting on your food. So it's just a really nice way to be able to do it. But there's also products on the market that you can use that are all natural products if you really want to make sure that you're getting that super deep clean, but keeping your food kept safe as well. You can check those out. I can leave some link below. I do like the Mrs. Myers spray, but I like to use that on my countertops and stuff like that. I typically will use either vinegar or lemon when I clean out my refrigerator. You can also take that lemon peel when you're done with it, cut off the bottom and the top, the little hard part, cut those off, and then cut it into quarters and throw that in your garbage disposal. I'm telling you, it is a game changer. You can get all the chemicals out there. Nothing is going to work this good. We just like lemons. We have them on hand. And so when we're done using the lemon juice or whatever we needed the lemon for, we take the peels and we put them in our garbage disposal just a little bit at a time. Turn the water on super hot and then run your disposal. Not only will it really clean your garbage disposal, disinfect it as well. It also helps to sharpen your blades because it's cutting up those lemon rinds, which is really having a big impact on getting all of that nice and clean down in there and sharpening the blade. So I highly suggest checking it out. You have a little funk that's coming from your garbage disposal. I'm telling you, lemons are the way to go. Put them down, and you can use any citrus fruit really. It can be oranges, it can be limes, whatever you got on hand. Just throw the peel down in your garbage disposal and let it do its magic. It is perfection. Now I'm going to move on to the trash can. I feel like that's just something that absolutely has to be done on a deep clean. So, what I would do on a routine clean, if the client's trash can was visible, I would absolutely wipe down the outside of the trash can because it's a visible item. Now, some people have them where they're built into their cabinetry. I don't go into cabinetries unless it's requested. So, if somebody said, my trash can's built in, can you please pull that out and clean it? Then I'll do that. Otherwise, I don't open people's cabinets. I feel like that's a privacy thing. I wouldn't do that. But on a deep clean, I will do the whole trash can. So I'm going to get the inside, get it nice and cleaned out, get the back, get that all nice and cleaned out. I recently pulled out we keep our trash can pretty clean. So I recently pulled out the bins and cleaned all that out. So I'm not going to do that today. But if this was a client's house on a deep clean, I'd go ahead and clean out the whole thing for them and then make sure I do really well around the trash can. It typically has just a little bit of splatter. It just happens. And so make sure that you pull that out and get behind it really good. I don't typically move furniture or anything like that in a client's house unless they request that I do so, then I absolutely will. But I don't want to like damage their floors or anything like that. So I don't typically move things around. Now, if it's like a basket on the floor, I will move that and vacuum and then move the basket back as long as it's like, 45 pounds or under. I'll typically move the item, but I don't typically go around just like moving the couch to get behind the baseboard to get the baseboards or anything like that, unless it was requested by the client to do so. But I am just trucking along. It really does seem like these would take such a long time, and even to me, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is gonna take forever. I'm gonna be here for 5 hours. I wasn't. I think it was like 2 hours total. It always feels more daunting than it actually is. But having all my supplies right next to me and just moving room by room and getting every single section knocked out, it actually does get done quicker than you'd think. Because we have cats, if I were hiring myself, my special request item would be taking care of the upholstery. When you have pets, the pet hair just tends to get all over the place. And I actually have this little Tenco vacuum. It does several things. There's a long extended pole where you can do the floors, or you can do the upholstery, or you can get into like cabinetries and stuff. It has all different attachments. I'll leave it linked below. It's incredible. It works really well. But getting in here and getting the upholstery clean has such a huge impact, because if you were to walk into the space and you could just see that we had cat hair all over the upholstery, it would not feel clean and tidy. And so using my tool just to get in here and get all of this nice and cleaned and straightened up, it feels so much better having that done. And then I'm going to move on to the floors, because getting a real thorough deep cleaning on those floors has a huge impact on a house, especially if you have pets and kids as well. We track in dirt too, but the whole household comes in and out, makes a mess on the floors, and the robot vacuums work really well. And some of them can get into the nooks and crannies, but some of them can't. Like this bench is pretty low profile, and so it would be probably pretty hard for vacuum, the robot vac to get back here. They do the best, they get around the corners and the edges and all that, but it would be hard for them to get actually to the very end. So doing a deep cleaning, I feel like that's the time when you move anything. Like I said, anything that's under 45 pounds. If I don't feel like I can safely pick it up without hurting my back, then I'm not going to move it. But if I feel like it's something that has pads underneath, or something that can be easily moved, something I can lift and shift it over and then put it back, I'll very much so do that. I'm not worried about scratching my floors. They're already scratched and probably could use some new floors, to be quite honest. But on a client's house, that's a very big concern, is scratching their floors. So I often will, as I'm dusting and things like that, go ahead and pick up items and move them out of the way. When I'm doing the baseboards, I'll pick up rugs and move them out of the way. Any rug that doesn't have a large piece of furniture on it would definitely be vacuumed, cleaned, and then removed. I would clean the floor underneath and then replace the rug back down, just to give it that thorough deep cleaning. That's the difference between a deep cleaning and a routine cleaning, is all those nooks and crannies are going to get cleaned as well. When I mop, like to use the multiple mop head method. It's where you take multiple mop heads, you put them in clean water, you mop a section, and then you grab a new mop head. It's the closest I can get to mopping on your hands and knees without actually getting on your hands and knees. You're only cleaning a small section. You're never getting your mop head dirty. These also, as you can see, work really great on walls. Walls is more of a spring cleaning task, but this is where we have our bar stools and it gets kind of icky there. So I want to go ahead and get that because you can see the noticeable dirt. But using this multiple mop head method works so well, getting your floors super clean. You're not ever putting dirty water back on your floor and just pushing it around. You're grabbing yourself a fresh, clean microfiber cloth and then going section by section, getting it all nice and cleaned. I hope I did a really good job explaining this. If you have any questions, please comment below and let me know. If you want any of the items linked, I'll link them as well for you. I hope this helps you out getting your deep cleaning done. Please like, comment, subscribe, all those things. They help me out a ton, and I will see you guys in my next video.
Hi everyone, welcome to All Inspired. My name is Amanda. If you're new here, on my channel we like to do all things inspired, which means we do a lot of homemaking content. And today we have a special video where we're going to be cleaning over 2 homes, 4 different seasons. This video is going to be jam-packed with cleaning motivation, but also I'm going to give you some inspiration on how I keep all of this in order. I'm going to give you my 10 tips on how to keep a nice solid routine, how to keep your house clean, how to manage all of these tasks on a regular basis. I'm actually a cleaning professional. I've been in the cleaning industry for a long time. I've done commercial and residential cleaning, and I've just found that I could go in and I could clean someone's home, even organize it, and stay on task and get it done really, really well. However, I was having a hard time maintaining my own. And maybe it was because I was tired at the end of the night. However, you can also delegate tasks. And if you make a plan and you become prepared, it makes it so much easier to get all of these things done once you realize that it really doesn't take that much time. So my first tip is to make a plan and become prepared. Simple little things like just having a notebook or a little easy printout to be able to do a brain dump on makes it so much easier. Everything that's in your mind, you can just put right there on the piece of paper and then prioritize what is the most important things and schedule out your week just like that. It makes it so easy just to be able to get all that out of your head and get it on a piece of paper and know each day that you will be getting some tasks done. Also, chore charts, meal plans, different things like that. It makes it so easy. Your home can actually run like a fine-oiled machine if you take this little bit of time in the beginning and set up these systems. So for instance, we have chores right now. During the summertime, we have afternoon chores, which is after lunch, and then we have dinner chores. And the girls know exactly what they are supposed to do. One of them will wipe off the counters and one of them will sweep the floor, and then they switch during dinner time. So it just makes it really easy. I put it up on our calendar. Everyone can see it. They know what they're supposed to do during lunch. They know what they're supposed to do during dinner. And we just tell them, hey, it's time for chores. They get up, they get their chores done. And so things like that, meal plan, just writing down 5 to 7 meal ideas. You don't have to have specific dates that you're going to have them on, but just 5 to 7 meal ideas. You can also do leftovers or go out to eat, but just have those written down so that when you go to do your groceries shopping, you already know exactly what you need because you have those 5 meal ideas that you are going to make that week. It's just those little tiny systems that if you implement them each week, it will make your task seem so much less daunting. my favorite parts about being on YouTube is the fact that I can come back and watch all of these videos. It's so much fun to go back and see how much my home has changed and how much our lives have really changed. This was our very first home that we lived in together as a family, as a blended family. My husband actually already had this house when him and I got married, and we moved in here, and it was a small ranch style home, but this home was filled with so much love, and it's so fun to go back and look at all of these fun videos. Like I said in one of my other videos, one of the main reasons why I started YouTube is to have a digital imprint. It's so important to me that my children can come back and look at this, and it's so much fun. You can see how I decorated, you can see what our house looked like. There's so many memories that are brought up just by me going back and looking at this footage. So even if you don't have a YouTube channel, I strongly suggest that you just record some things about your home. Just do like walkthroughs of your home when you move in and then when you move out, and just keep that footage, because I guarantee you and your family members will go back over it and you will reminisce, and it will be so awesome and so much fun. And so I really encourage you, even if you're never going to post it on any platform, just go ahead and record it, because it's so fun. Record the day you move in, record the day you're moving out, record your new home. It just has so much memories. But this is actually my old bedroom. I'm getting it nice and dusted and cleaned, and I'm going to keep on moving on and getting everything in my old home nice and clean. But I wanted to share tip number 2 with you. Declutter. This was something that I've always struggled with. I am what I cannot think of her name right now. Anyways, clutterbug. She would call me a ladybug is what I am. I tend to want to keep everything, but I want everything to be nice and clean and organized, so I will shove and cram it into all of the little nooks and crannies so it appears clean. However, when I want to find something, I never know where it is. So this was not going to work for me. I do suggest that if you have never went over to Clutterbug to see some of her videos, check her out. She's amazing. She actually will tell you what type there's like 4 or 5 different types she categorizes you as, and you can figure out which one is yours, and it's really beneficial to help you to know how to organize once you know what type you are. And I really struggled with this in our old house. It was just, there was very minimal space, and I was still in that mindset of I needed to keep everything. And so our laundry room was always packed of things. It was what I called my Monica closet. I just shoved things in there. Our closets, every little nook and cranny, the basement, the attic, everything in this house was jam-packed full of items. And I had to go through, pull everything out of the attic, which is teeny tiny little space, and just go through it all. And right before we moved, my husband would pull down 2, 3, 4 totes, and we just go through it, get rid of, go through, get rid of. And we just kept doing this repeatedly, because when my husband and I got married, we moved in together and we conjoined all of our stuff, and we really should have cluttered, but we did not clutter as much as we needed to. So right before we moved, we had to come in and we had to really be intentional and just figure out what we really needed in the new home and get rid of anything that we didn't. There was several totes and several items that we kept, our decor and things like that, and our keepsake items. Of course, we kept all of that, but we had extra sheets and extra blankets and extra things, that car seats, and none of our children were even in car seats anymore. Why in the world did we still have car seats? I don't know, but we went ahead and got rid of all of that. And then hand in hand, number 3, organize, kind of goes along with it. So as I did clutter, I also organized, and that made it so helpful when we moved, just to have everything in its totes. I had them all labeled. I knew exactly where they were going. Everything was organized. The basement stuff was labeled so that it could head down there. And it was so much more efficient. We actually had some friends come in and help us, and so having that all organized really helped out. And it really, when it comes down to it, organizing just means, everybody overcomplicates this, but all it means is everything has a home. That's it. That's all it means. If you have a pen, you know it has a home. So in your office, you create a home for your pens. You have notebooks, they have a home. You create a home for them. That's all organizing means. You don't need fancy bins, you don't need a label maker. Those are fun, and if you have the means, go ahead and do it. But if you do not have the time or the energy or the funds, all organizing means is find a home for that item. And to organize, all you have to do is put the items in their home. It's really, really simple. It does not need to be overcomplicated.
all the magic places in the world I've been to, this is where my heart is. Oh, you know it's true. No matter where I go, I'm coming home to you. Been walking down the street so many times, my feet know every brick and stone. Could wear a blindfold. No matter what I do, I'm coming home to you. And I don't know why, don't know why, don't know why, I'm always feeling homesick. Oh, all I know, all I know, all I know is this is where my heart is. Oh, I have seen many places where the beauty never ends. Different cities, friendly faces, and perhaps I'm going back. But I don't have to be chasing every dream that I have. Oh, no. 'Cause the thing is, I've got more love here than I can bear. Ooh. Of all the magic places in the world I've been to, this is where my heart is. Oh, you know it's true. No matter where I go, I'm coming home to you. Been walking down the street so many times, my feet know every brick and stone. Could wear a blindfold. No matter what I do, I'm coming home to you. And I don't know why, don't know why, don't know why, I'm always feeling homesick. Oh, all I know, all I know, all I know is this is where my heart is. Oh, of all the magic places in the world I've been to, this is where my heart is. Oh, you know it's true. No matter where I go, I'm coming home to you.
My fourth tip is going to be don't put it down, put it away. This also came from the Clutterbug. It is such a phenomenal tip. I try to tell it to our kids. I try not to nag on them a lot, but I try to tell them, like, just don't put it down, just go put it away. And it really makes a huge difference. We are a family of 5. There's a bunch of us here. We all have items, socks, shoes, jackets, the whole 9 yards. We've got them. We are cluttered over here, but the way that we keep it all together and the way that we maintain our mess and our clutter is to don't put it down, put it away. It is such a great thing. My tip number 5 is the surfaces are hot lava. This is such a great tip. All of these, majority of these tips came from the Clutterbug. I just love her so much, and she just is really great when it comes to simplifying things and not overcomplicating them. But the surfaces are hot lava. So in my kitchen, I like it very minimal. I don't keep my toaster, my can opener, none of that stays out. The surface is hot lava. I have a few like cutting boards, a few decor pieces that I set out, but for the most of the part, the surface is hot lava, and I maintain all of my items to something: a tray, a basket, a bin, something. This can work anywhere in your bathrooms, in your kitchen. You can put a little tiny tray in your bathroom, and my husband even, it was like magic. I put the tray out and all of a sudden the items and the things started collecting in the tray. It's magical. That's all you have to do is conceal the items. You have storage in your bathroom, maximize the storage, use vertical, put some type of bins in there or some type of shelves or something. You can use whatever you already have. Right now I have bins that were in my office space that I've had forever that I transitioned over into my bathroom because honestly, I didn't need the bins in here. I was storing my papers, my things in other places, and they're just little plastic drawer bins. However, those are perfect for combs, brushes, hair ties, all of the accessories. They're long. They actually fit a full-size brush in there. So just think outside of the box. I already had those on hand. You can use baskets, bins, drawers, whatever you need, but use that vertical storage and keep items put away and concealed, not all over the surfaces. It just makes it so much easier when you're ready to go in and actually do a clean thing. You do not have to pick everything up. I actually have clear drawers inside of my bathroom right now, and one of them is a makeup drawer, and I just pull that drawer out. I grab all my items out, I throw all of it back in there, and then I stick the drawer away. That simple task makes it so much easier. You will not have makeup cluttering your counters. You will just have one bin where all your items are. Toss it on in there, put it away. It takes 2.5 seconds, and everything is nice and clean.
I can take you anywhere, somewhere. We won't be scared. You will see me flying high. I'm staring into your blue eyes. We don't need nobody else. I got you, and you got me too. I've been saving you, and you save me too. Yeah, I need it. Don't you need me too? 'Cause I need you. Yeah, so call me anytime that you need a favor. Call me anytime I can come and save you. Oh, oh. Call me anytime that you need a friend, and call me anytime when you're out of tight, and you, I got you. You got me, got me. You got me, got me. You got me too. Got me, got me. I've been saving you. You save me too. Yeah, I need it. Don't you need it too? 'Cause I got you, and you got me too. I'm catching pains and it's getting late. was at the wrong place at the right time. 'Cause suddenly there you were with those bright blue eyes. We were conversing into the night sky when you took my hand, said let's leave now. Don't wanna be shy, I will let my guard down. Don't wanna be shy, I will let my guard down. I wanna laugh out loud, talk a little deeper, kiss a little harder. I wanna laugh out loud, talk a little deeper, kiss a little harder, love a little louder, love a little louder. We went to a small bar with neon lights, talked about everything that was on our minds. Talking to you gave me butterflies. Then you took my hand, said let's leave now. Don't wanna be shy, I will let my guard down. Don't wanna be shy, I will let my guard down. I wanna laugh out loud, talk a little deeper, kiss a little harder. I wanna laugh out loud, talk a little deeper, kiss a little harder, love a little louder, love a little louder, love a little louder, love a little louder, love out loud, love out loud, love out loud, love out loud. Don't wanna be shy, I will let my guard down. I wanna laugh out loud, talk a little deeper, kiss a little harder. I wanna laugh out loud, talk a little deeper, kiss a little harder, love a little louder, love a little louder, love Everybody has their job, 9 to 5, and getting drained. They settle for second best, scared to risk what the future might bring. What the future might bring. I hold my breath, waiting for someone to knock at my door, telling me there is more waiting for me. Whoa. If I love you harder than I've ever done before, oh, maybe I'll belong somewhere above the water. My lungs are tired from running for a long time. My feet got blisters, but maybe I'll belong if I love a little harder. If I love all the ways the world puts me to the test, if I embrace every fall, learn to grow and keep myself tall, would it hurt at all? I hold my breath, waiting for someone to knock at my door, telling me there is more waiting for me. Whoa. If I love you harder than I've ever done before, oh, maybe I belong somewhere above the water. My lungs are tired from running for a long time. My feet got blisters, but maybe I belong if I love a little harder. A little harder. If I love a little harder. I watch you as you drive. Do you know I'm looking? And I can't help but smile. Do you know how much I love you? You put my favorite song on, I put my feet up, and we just sing along. And I can't help but feeling, just loving this moment. Can we stay here forever? I'm loving this moment. Can we stay here together? If I could stop the time, don't you know that I would? 'Cause I'm just loving this moment. Can we stay here forever? Forever. Forever. here forever? I'm loving this moment. Can we stay here forever? I'm loving this moment. Can we stay here forever? I'm just loving this moment. Can we stay here forever? I'm loving this moment. Can we stay here together? If I could stop the time, don't you know that I would? 'Cause I'm just loving this moment. Can we stay here forever? Forever. 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 I watch you as you drive. Do you know I'm looking?
My fourth tip is going to be to have some sort of a tidy tote or something along those lines. You can do this in several different ways. I don't do it like they do it over on Clutterbug, where she has a tote where you can throw all the items in it and her cleaning supplies, and then she just goes room by room and picks it up. I do it a little bit different. I like to store the cleaners in the bathroom. If you cannot do this, you can also just have one tote designated for cleaners. Sometimes smaller apartments or things like that don't necessarily need cleaning supplies underneath every single bathroom. Plus, it can be expensive. So you can just have one little tote. I have one teal one that's in my basement. That's for my daughter. Those are all her cleaning supplies. I picked everything up from the dollar store. I just bought a square plastic container, and she just has basic, like a duster, glass cleaner, toiletable cleaner, just multi-surface cleaner, just basic cleaning supplies in there for her. And then I also like to keep this in other areas of the home. So we'll have one in our laundry room so that we can do the main level, and then we will also have one on our upper level. I like to keep that in our hall closet. It's just on the very bottom. It's a little tote with cleaning supplies, so that makes it really easy for us. I also like to have a little basket at the bottom of the stairs, and I will have one just sitting in both places where I can put stuff that needs to be taken down into the basement, and I can also put stuff that needs to go upstairs. That way I could just grab that little tote, take it with me up the stairs, and put all of the items away. We actually have a little bench in our entryway, and we have two little baskets underneath there, and they're always empty. And one is for items that go to the basement, and one are for items that go upstairs. So if someone were to stop by, it would appear as if our house is nice and clean and everything is picked up. But in all honesty, I've just shoved it in those baskets, and at the end of the week, I'll go put all of the items away. Just make sure your baskets are kind of small, because if not, then you end up never putting them away, and you're looking for something for the last week and you have no idea where it is. And really, it's just in your little tidy tote stored underneath your bench, and it's been there the whole time and you had no idea. Yes, this has happened to me. I strongly suggest that you just get small baskets and make sure you put them away. And if you can't find anything, go check your tidy tote, because that's likely where it's at. The next one is, so that was technically 5 and 6. So 7 is a 10-minute tidy up. And I know I'm going to contradict myself, because I'm telling you right now, put all your items in that tidy tote and then your home will be tidy. But you got to tidy it up every once in a while. And this is what the 10-minute tidy up is for. Just grab those totes and go put them all away. Or for instance, we have kids. We're not perfect. We also have pets. Most of us do. So there's certain things that aren't going to get cleaned up. An infant cannot clean up after themselves. A pet, likely, they can't clean up after themselves. You know what I mean? So you're going to have to do that. So that's what the 10-minute tidy up is for. In the event that you have a busy week, you have stuff going on, not everything gets put away, you can easily just use that 10 minutes, or you can also use that just to empty your bins, because you were on your game this week and you got all your stuff picked up, and now all you need to do is spend 5 minutes emptying your bin.
Said you needed a break and left with no heads up. I was strong for your sake, but it made my heart drop. 'Cause it's always been you and I. Give me one more try. This is messing with my mind. Not gonna lie, but I'll give you the space so you can figure this out. I've been losing sleep and it won't get better. I can't get my mind off of you. Days go by and I can't help but wonder if you think about me too. Don't you just hate it, being away from someone you just wanna hold on to? It's driving me crazy, tired of waiting. I really hate being away from you. We're like everyone else, we have our ups and downs. It is not just one mistake that made you think about what life can be like without me in it. I still thought it'd be you and I until we die. But I'll give you the space so you can figure this out. I've been losing sleep and it won't get better. I can't get my mind off of you. Days go by and I can't help but wonder if you think about me too. Don't you just hate it, being away from someone you just wanna hold on to? It's driving me crazy, tired of waiting. I really hate being away from you. Don't you just hate it, being away from someone you just wanna hold on to? It's driving me crazy, tired of waiting. I really hate being away from you.
moving right along to our new house. Oh, how things have changed. Here's our back deck at our new house. We're just getting it nice and cleaned and tidied up. I actually did this video not too long ago and I explained everything. So I will link all these videos below. If you guys really want to in depth of what I'm doing on there rather than the tips, you can go and check those out as well. But my tip number 8 is really important. Set up a routine. I know. You've heard it before. Everyone says set up a routine. You've set up a routine. It doesn't work. No. You need to set up and implement your routine. This was the most pivotal point for me when it came to cleaning houses. I had to have a routine. It was structured, y'all. Your routine should be so solid that you don't even think about it. You don't have to think about what do I do today because your routine is there. You know exactly what needs to be done. You're just filling in some fillers here and there, like I got to go to the DMV because my tags are up and we only do that once a year. Those are just little filler items. But your everyday, day-to-day tasks should be set up in routines. So when I walked into a home, I started in the primary bedroom. That's just the way every single time I started in the primary bedroom. I would make exceptions for certain homes because if they wanted me to clean the basement and it was a ranch style house, I wouldn't work backwards. So I would typically start in the basement, get all of that clean, work my way out of the basement, and then start in the primary bedroom and work my way out of the home. And it's just so you don't backtrack and get anything dirty. It's just work smarter, not harder type of thing. But it is so important to do those things regardless of what it is. Like, for instance, right after you brush your teeth, make your bed. That is now a solid routine. It is part every day. You're going to wake up every morning. You're going to brush your teeth. Right after you do it, go ahead and make your bed. I can go into any one of my homes. I could go into one of the homes that I cleaned inside my head because I did it for so many years. And I could literally map out for my client a full routine on how they could get their home cleaned in 2 hours. No joke. I could do this in every single home that I cleaned. And it's because my routines were so solid. The only thing I ever switched up was what detailed item was being cleaned. Most of my homes were routine cleanings. So I would go every week or every 2 weeks to clean their home. However, I would implement certain things like the first week of the month would be the things up high dusting, light fixtures, things that were up high. The second week of the month would be the fronts and backs of the doors and the light fixtures. The third weekend of the month would be the baseboards. You see what I mean? Each week of the month, or if it was a bi-weekly cleaning, this would happen over 2 months. I would change out these detailed cleaning items, and that would be the only thing that would change. Everything else would be the same. And this is how I strongly encourage you to get prepared and to have a structured routine. You have a morning routine, you probably go to work, get home, you have an evening routine, and then you probably have a weekend routine. And block scheduling really, really helps this out for me to be prepared. I know exactly what I'm going to do, when I'm going to do. And after you write it down for a week or two, you're really not going to need to continue to write it down forever. You'll just need to implement those filler items. So you'll already know, from 9 to 10, that's your workout time. So then you know that at 10 o'clock, you have that available time because you need to go make that appointment at the DMV. So it's so important to set up a solid routine and make sure that you actually implement it, not just write it down and check off the boxes, but actually implement it into your life to the point where you no longer need a checklist and you run on autopilot.
I have seen many places where the beauty never ends. Different cities, friendly faces, and perhaps I'm going back. But I don't have to be chasing magic places in the world I've been to. This is where my heart is. Oh, you know it's true. No matter where I go, I'm coming home to you.
I know it's nothing new, but it's so good to see you. We do this every day, and I'm still so amazed by you. So hold me tight through the night. It's just us two, me and you. Oh, oh, I can't believe you love me. Oh, oh, I just feel so lucky. Oh, oh, still can't believe you love me. I hope it never ends. Let's being more than friends. Yeah. You know I'm here to stay every single day. Yeah. So hold me tight through the night. It's just us two, me and you. Oh, oh, I can't believe you love me. Oh, oh, I just feel so lucky. Oh, oh, still can't believe you love me. Falling into your arms, dancing up in the stars. Oh, where I'd rather be than with you. Oh, oh, I can't believe you love me. Oh, I just feel so lucky. Oh, still can't believe you love me. Oh, can't believe you love me. Oh, I just feel so lucky. Oh, still can't believe you love me.
Tip number 9 is have a laundry schedule that works for you. I was constantly trying to implement this one load a day keeps the laundry monster away. Yeah, it doesn't work. Not for me, not here. I felt like I was wasting my time because when I owned my cleaning company, Sunday would be laundry day. And I always did a load of laundry every day because I cleaned my towels every single day. So I always had laundry to do. And that's why I would do my laundry on Sunday. And I realized I had a wonderful system in place where I would wash, dry, fold, put it in a basket. Mine and my daughter's stuff would each be in our own basket. I would give her her basket to put away, and then I would put my basket away. However, when I moved in with my husband, and now we have 5 people, I realized that laundry was just overwhelming. And I was still doing my cleaning company, so I was still doing a load of towels every single day for that. And it just became so overwhelming that I was tried to switch to this one load a day method. And what I realized is that I was washing, drying, and putting it in baskets. Now I'm washing, drying, putting it in the basket, except for I was like, I'll just wait till tomorrow to put it away because I'll have that load from tomorrow. And then we just ended up living out of baskets. And I'm like, what is this madness? Why do we have all this laundry in baskets and nothing is ever getting put away? It's because the system doesn't work for me. It's because I feel like it's a waste of time because you're putting away items when you could just wash all day long, wash it, dry it. I mean, the washer does most of the work. It takes about an hour and a half for my washer to run. I'll throw it in the dryer, I'll let it dry, I'll fold it, and I'll put it all in bins. And what I really like to use is those cube dividers. We already have them, those cube shelves, and you just put the little bins inside of them. We already have those, and so it works out perfectly. I'll have a bin for each child, and I'll wash, I'll dry, I'll fold, I'll put it in the bins, and then all the bins go to the kids' room. They could put it away themselves, and then mine and my husband's bin, we put away ourselves. So it just makes it so much easier. You're not putting away items every single day. You're only putting it away one time. So this is what works for me. And you might have it where in your home, it's easier for you just to do a load every single day, or at least wash towels or something every single day to keep on top of it. But I realized that I'm actually more productive when I can just get the majority of the laundry, 4 or 5 loads done in a day, get it all nice and folded, get it put into a bin for everyone to put away. So just create your laundry system that works for you. Do not go off of what other people have told you to do or what is the best method. Do what works for you and your home.
I'm looking up from my window. Sun's coming up like the day before. You're like a stone on my pillow. I don't make a sound when I shut the door. You don't have to wake up yet. We can spend all day in bed. I'll put the TV in the room. We'll have a Netflix marathon, Kenny G saxophone. We'll order in a bunch of food. I'll put your favorite music on all the way baritone. Yeah. Shut the lights, go infrared. We can spend all day in bed. I'll get the wine and the corkscrew. You don't have to do one single thing. You don't know how much I want you. Just looking at you makes my whole world spin. You don't have to wake up yet. We can spend all day in bed. I'll put the TV in the room. We'll have a Netflix marathon, Kenny G saxophone. We'll order in a bunch of food. I'll put your favorite music on all the way baritone. Shut the lights, go infrared. Oh, we can spend all day in bed. I'll put the TV in the room. We'll have a Netflix marathon. Kenny G saxophone. We'll order in a bunch of food. I'll put your favorite music on all the way baritone. Shut the lights, go infrared. We can spend all day in bed.
My 10th tip is to create a reward system. We cannot be all work and no play over here. We have to have some type of reward system. And I really like to do this. I will do like an iced coffee. Once you get all your tasks done, I'll reward myself with something. Hot tub at the end of the evening or a nice dinner. My husband and I like to, if we're working on a huge project, we typically do this on the weekend that we don't have the girls, and we will usually eat out once or twice that weekend just because it makes it so much easier for us. If we're exhausted, we don't have to worry about that. So that's like a special reward at the end of the evening. We get up, we get our tasks done, and then we get to go out to dinner. And so this works so well. It can be just such a simple little reward, but just going in, getting your whole entire office or your whole entire bedroom organized, and then you can go out and buy a little something. Do not overdo it. Try to make it something that you're actually going to use or something that you will not have to be decluttering later, but little simple rewards like iced coffee or a nice evening out, a relaxing time in our hot tub, just things like that really, really help. And it's really just a trick of the mind. I can go get in my hot tub right now if I want to. However, I also know that I can trick myself into being motivated because at the end of the day, motivation is not something that just comes to us. It is something that has momentum. Once you start, then you just keep going and going and going. And that is what motivation is, the start of momentum, starting a task, walking into the kitchen and saying, I have 5 minutes. I can at least get the dishwasher unloaded. And then by 20 minutes have gone by and you've already unloaded the dishwasher, wiped the counter, swept the floor, wiped off the refrigerator. Like you've already done all of these tasks and it's only been 20 minutes and your kitchen is sparkling clean. Motivation is starting with momentum. Just get that momentum going and it'll keep on going.
Oh, the lilac snow drifting down so soft and slow outside my window. I watch it go. Oh, the lilac snow. And though the world may seem so still, it's coming in a distant chill with the memories of winters past, of the ones I wish would have lasted. Oh, the lilac snow tells secrets of long ago.
What were you able to get tackled during this video? Comment and let me know. There was a lot of stuff here, and in 2 hours you can get a ton done. This is a perfect way to just set yourself a little timer so that you can get your house done and clean along with a friend. Here's some background noise. I love having something playing in the background while I'm trying to get everything nice and cleaned and tidied around my home. So what all did you get done? Also, did you like this marathon? Give me some constructive criticism. I would love to hear your opinions. Did you like the marathon? Did you feel like that it flowed well? Should I have done a whole new voiceover for the entire thing? Or were you okay with having the commentary that I was talking in the original video? Just help your girl out. Let me know what you think about this style of video. I don't do these a ton, but I do feel like I love to watch them because, like I said, that background noise, just feeling like
I know
you're
this was a
motivating
little bit
each
different style
other. Not
video
only
than I
am I
typically do,
cleaning
but
by
I'm
my,
really excited
not,
to
I'm just
get some
not just
feedback
cleaning
from
by
you guys to
myself. I have
see what you
someone
think of it.
that's
Did you
also
like it?
cleaning,
Did you
so I
hate
feel like,
it?
oh,
Would
they're
you
cleaning, I'm
rather
cleaning,
have
let's get
me
everything
done
done together. It
a
just,
video where I
it's
just
like going to
sit
the
and
gym with a
talk to
friend.
you
It just
about my
feels
10 tips,
a
or
little
do
bit
you
more
like the fact
motivating
that
than
I
doing it
added the
on your
10
own. So
tips to
let me
a
know if you
massive
like the style
cleaning
video and
video
then
to give
if I
you
should
that
continue to
expert,
make them and
that
what you think about
extra
it. I would really
motivation?
appreciate
What would you
your
prefer? Because I
opinions
do
in the
think I
comments.
will do a sit
I'll
down
be
video
having some
just
more
to
videos
see
coming up soon. So if
which
you
one
are into
performs
this type of
better.
content
But
and
if
you've
you
been
guys could
enjoying it,
just give
hit
me
that
the
like and
comments, the
subscribe
likes,
button. It helps me
just
out
let
so
me know,
much
just
and
give
it
me some
is
feedback
free
because
to
I
you
really
and
truly
it
appreciate
really
it,
does
and it
boost to my channel.
sincerely
So if
helps
you
me
liked
out
and
knowing
if
what
you've
I should
enjoyed
make
seeing
going
this content,
forward.
go ahead and
I
hit all
really
those things
appreciate
for
all
me
of you. Thank
to
you so
help you
much for
grow. I'll
watching.
see y'all in the next video.